plays games with Jay.
No.
No.
No. That's
No.
No. Whoever killed her, it's not just someone in this room. It was one of you. Hiro, Byakuya, Toko, one of you killed Sakura. What?
You're accusing us before we've even begun the investigation.
I don't need to investigate anything because you hated her. You hated the sight of her. One of you did it and I know it.
You're not.
Jeez, I didn't know your power level would increase by that much just by getting mad.
What are you doing here?
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to hand out my little murder flyer. That's right, it's the next Monokuma file. And don't get so mad, Miss Sasahina, or you're gonna ruin that lewd little face of yours. Now then, with that,
Hold on. There's something I want to ask you.
Huh?
It was you, wasn't it? You killed Sakura?
Uh-huh?
Sakura wanted to challenge the mastermind to a duel. Maybe you and her fought again and then...
Then I killed her? Sorry, not quite. Actually, not even close. That old thing is totally irrelevant now. Sakura came to a most regrettable end without even getting the chance to finish things with me. Which, thank God for that. It saved me the trouble of having to go through with our little fight. Because even for someone like me, it would have been no mean feat to take down a behemoth like that. I gotta tell ya, I was actually pretty worried. I mean, she'd violated a rule by attacking me in the first place, but I wasn't able to punish her. So I don't know who it was, but whoever the blackened is this time, I owe you one.
You owe them one?
Oopsie, before you get all pissy-potty at me, you better figure out who did it first. Because, I mean, your lives are all on the line, right? Boo-hoo-hoo. Boo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
What the hell? He owes them one? I hate him. I hate this whole thing.
Well, I, for one, am glad it was Sakura. She was working for the mastermind, after all.
How can you say that now?
Sorry, I don't have time for your squabbling. The next game has already begun. If you want to be angry at someone, be angry at whoever killed Sakura.
Right now, our top priority needs to be uncovering Sakura's killer. If we can't do that, we're all dead.
Then let's decide who will stand guard this time.
I'll do it. Hina?
Hina?
There are two of you?
Horrible. My worst nightmare.
I'm okay. Just let me handle it. Besides, I want to be here with Sakura.
Okay, then Hina is guard number 1, but we need one more. Kyoko, that's you.
Me?
You're always a thorn in my side. This time just stand by and watch quietly. Consider that an order.
An order? Fine, I'll stay back behind.
Then it's settled. Let's begin, shall we?
Hold on. Before that, there's something I want to say.
Which is...
Hiro, Byakuya, Toko, none of you are allowed to step foot in the crime scene. What? One of you killed Sakura. I won't let someone like that come anywhere near her.
Don't be stupid. Our lives are in just as much danger as yours. We have every right to investigate.
I don't care what you say. I'm not letting the one who killed Sakura anywhere near her. Even if it means I have to use force, you're not getting in here.
Well, it appears further discussion would be a waste of time. How about a compromise? I won't ask you to let all of us in. Just let me.
What?
You don't really care, do you? You're both useless anyway.
No, don't really care. I'd rather spend my time coming up with another splendid fantasy involving Master anyway.
And you, Hiro, do you matter?
I guess I don't. Yeah, with that logic.
Then it's decided.
Nothing's decided. I know how you feel, Hina, but you should agree to this to his request. But we have to find out who killed Sakura. For those of us still alive and to honor Sakura's memory. Fine. I guess that's okay. But no matter what, Byakuya, you absolutely aren't allowed to touch her.
Naturally. Who would want to touch a filthy dead body?
That's enough fighting. We need to focus on the investigation from here on out. Everyone keep this in mind. We can't uncover Sakura's killer. All of us face execution. Finding out who killed Sakura. It's not a matter of hoping we can do it. If we want to survive, we have to do it. It's kind of hopeless hope. We have no choice but to just do it. Just do it.
Just go for it.
Okay. I better check the Monokuma file before anything else. The victim was Sakura Ogami. The time of death is estimated to be around 12 noon. The body was discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. There is evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were noted. However, it seems that at some point the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood. Huh. I think the case this time might be a challenge.
Why is that?
The only way into the rec room is the door we just came through, and that door had been jammed shut with a chair from the inside of the rec room, which means the killer would have had to escape somehow after barring the door.
So if the door was blocked from the inside, and there was no way in or out till we broke the window, there's like zero escape, right?
That's a different game. In other words,
Similar vibe, though.
this is a classic locked room murder.
Third game kind of sucked. A locked room murder? I guess you might see this kind of thing a lot in Zero Escape or whatever. But could it really happen in real life or Ace Attorney and right before our very eyes like this?
Are you curious to hear more about what a locked room murder entails?
Sure, if you don't mind.
When you break down this kind of murder mystery, there are 4 basic types. The first type is when the locked room is created after the actual crime is committed. This simply means that the killer commits his crime, then through some special method seals the room. This mainly involves some sort of trick involving the locking of the room. Basic approaches include using a string or simple mechanisms. There are a number of variations.
So for that, all we'd have to do is check the door to see if that's what it was, right?
The second type is when the locked room already exists before the crime is committed.
Oh?
Basically, the killer uses a special contraption or tool from outside to target the victim inside. You push a switch and it fires a handgun, you shoot an arrow through a gap in the door, something like that. But in this case, that doesn't seem to fit. There are no guns or arrows in the school, and the door doesn't have any gap that would allow it.
Yeah, I think we can probably cross that one off the list.
The third type is when the killer stays in the room until it's opened up.
What do you mean by that?
They stay hidden, and when the door is open, they use the confusion to blend in with the group. They pretend they showed up along with everyone else, and that's it. That's that.
That sounds like it could have been possible, maybe.
And the fourth and final type is when it wasn't actually a locked room at all.
Not a locked room?
By that, I mean there actually is an alternate escape route somewhere within the room. You see this is a lot in novels and things, but in reality, it's generally not possible.
And you think we can cross that one off too?
I believe so, yes. So when it comes to locked room mysteries, those are the basics.
So there are 4 possibilities. Then, Kyoko, which of those 4 choices seems the most likely in this case?
That's a good question. Answering that should be our primary focus during the trial. But right now, I can't really say.
I see. The way the killer set up the locked room. Until I figure that out, the truth behind Sakura's death will stay hidden. It's definitely a tough mystery. I need to concentrate and investigate as much as I can. For Sakura, if nothing else. Boing!
Boing. Okay. Sakura drew her last breath sitting slumped forward in this chair. There's obvious evidence of the blow to the head Sakura suffered. Normally, I wouldn't have had any problem believing that's what killed her, but according to the Monokuma file, she also had vomited blood. And I could see a trace of blood on her lips for sure. So what would have caused her to vomit blood? The Monokuma file specifically says she hadn't suffered any other injuries. Okay. Nope.
Not a chance.
Byakuya.
However, your eyes have landed on a most interesting location.
Interesting?
Yes, most interesting. Don't you agree?
No, I don't think I'd call it interesting. But it does make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to why she died. There are shards of glass scattered around the chair Sakura was sitting on. The glass is all red, and these are the top and bottom sections of a bottle, right? So this must have originally been a...
Detective Mac!
I can't with this guy. All right. Glass shards on the floor. Huh? There's something else on the ground near the glass. It's a figure. It fits in the palm of my hand. It's a Monokuma figure. Figure on the floor. Oh fuck, if no one else wants it, I'll take it. This looks like some kind of wrapper. That's...
M&M. Do you recognize it, Hina?
Well, yeah. I mean, I gave it to her. That's a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack attacked me, right? So after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help her calm down a little.
So you gave that candy to Sakura.
I found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really like them. Actually, as soon as we could get into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room. I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them.
You really like them that much?
But I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her. But now they've lost all their flavor.
Hina.
Polka dot candy wrapper. What kind of flavor candy do you think this is?
You say candy cane?
No, what kind of candy flavor do you think this is?
Oh,
I think I stuttered and said candy twice. Sorry.
It's white with red polka dots.
Yeah.
It tastes like chicken pox. Jay just gave me the most disappointed stare. Just the most. Okay, it tastes like chicken soup. He's shaking his head at me. I'm just gonna do a running commentary of what Jay looks like. There's a blood stain. You're reading.
Yeah. There's a blood stain in front of the magazine shelf.
His right leg's twitching.
What are you doing?
I'm doing running commentary.
It must have come from Sakura, right?
He started in the first sentence.
I hate this. Okay, magazine shelf bloodstain. Interesting. Look at the magazines. The same shelf full of magazines. There are all different kinds of magazines here. I'm guessing one of these red bottles are the ones that's missing. There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. And inside each bottle there's some kind of Monokuma figure. What I'm wondering is how they get those figures inside the bottles.
I wonder if they ever sold these.
It's no different from your standard ship in a bottle. Huh? You know, where the bottle's opening is smaller than the boat placed inside. You never seen that?
Oh, yeah. Maybe I have. Who hasn't seen that, Makoto?
So this is the Monokuma version of that. A Monokuma bottle, if you will. Okay. I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things little by little.
A ship in a bottle.
The Monokuma bottle sitting on the shelf. The Monokuma figure we found on the ground. The red shards of glass, which probably started out as a bottle.
I get it. The bottles are giving birth to glass.
They're multiplying. The shards of glass. Okay. So I think it's safe to say the Monokuma bottle was the weapon. Ooh, what the heck? What the heck is that? Oh, someone was hiding in this locker. Huh, the locker's open, and there on the inside is a handprint? What's a handprint doing there?
It looks like someone touched the inside of the locker and it left a handprint in all the dust.
And it looks quite fresh, too. I'd say someone was hiding in the locker, and they left behind a little something extra.
So then, maybe the killer hid in here until the locked room was open, don't you think? And during all the confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group.
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility.
Why not?
Think back, before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right?
Do you have a memory? Oh yeah, and the locker was already open at that point.
So there's no way someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door.
Yeah, so then, what does this handprint mean?
Okay. What else? We looked at all that. Oh. There's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance to the room. It looks like a protein drink, and it's empty.
Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein. And she mentioned more than once how protein was good for all sorts of ailments.
I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you.
I know. But still, this protein can, it's got a label on it that says Chem A2. That reminds me. Sakura mentioned how the chem lab had all kinds of health stuff. So she must have gotten this from the chem lab.
But that's strange.
Huh? What is?
You see what's scattered around the can?
Shards of light blue glass. They must be parts of the window I broke to get inside.
But they aren't just scattered around the can. They're also underneath it.
Why does that matter?
I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. I feel like it'll become an important clue later on.
An important clue? I'm not sure I see how.
Okay. The chair? The chair was shoved up against the doorknob, so we couldn't get the door open. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the chair. In other words, there's no reason to think the chair had anything special done to it. Ooh, what else am I... Oh, the door? This door is the only way in or out of the rec room. The door doesn't have a lock, and there's no evidence that the mountings have been tampered with. The only notable change to the door is the smashed window, which happened, of course, when I broke in to get inside. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the door. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself. Having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt that the reason that the door didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. This kept the doorknob from turning and the door from opening. There was no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So the killer must have created the locked room from the inside, not from the outside. I'm really glad I understand rectangles now.
Yeah. No, I got him down cold.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, but you know. Clock is around 1 o'clock right now. Sakura died at 12, roughly an hour ago. Was that when Kyoko and I were moving alter ego? Okay, let's talk to Byakuya.
What do you want? You're bothering me. Go away.
Okay. He's not even trying to hide how much he despises me. I better go how much before he crushes my soul completely. Okay.
Soul crush.
But for Sakura to have been killed.
Yeah, she's not the type who would go down without a fight.
And she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand?
They must have taken her by surprise, right?
Certainly. They would have needed to if they expected to stand any chance against her. We already know who did it. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It had to be one of them. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makoto?
Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more.
Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all three of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room.
What?
That's important information. After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually she went off on her own. But even when I saw her again after that, she told me... She said she had left a note for each of them. She asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon.
By noon? The Monokuma file says she died right around then.
I'm telling you the truth. I heard it right from Sakura herself. And I tried to stop her. But she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them. And snapped their spines. But, you know, this is what happened. If I'd stopped her, by force even, this never would have happened.
Hina, it's impossible not to have regrets, I know.
Okay, I always account.
But the fact that she'd asked those three to meet with her...
And she asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the same time and place she ended up dying. It might be good to confirm what I just heard with the three of them directly. Byakuya.
What do you want? You're bothering me.
There's something I'd like to talk to you about.
Make it quick.
Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room?
So you found out? Interesting.
Then it's true.
I did receive a note to that effect, yes. But what fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster?
So you didn't go see her?
Of course not. I ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura today at all.
Byakuya says he didn't go see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact.
If you're all finished, please remove yourself from my sight.
Okay, thanks. Okay. Well, Makoto, have you finished with your general investigation?
Yeah, I think so, for the most part.
Then you should probably go talk to with other people now. I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave. Which is why I've decided you'll go in my place.
She's decided. She's gotten a lot more pushy since we had our issue. But she's right. Now you gotta talk to the others. Sakura wanted to meet with 2 other people. I need to hear what they have to say.
Oh, wait. That's not how we leave. What the heck? How do I get out of here?
You try circle or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, it's like every other room you've been in the game.
I guess I still don't get rectangles.
Yep. Or maybe circles are your new enemy because it's the circle button, right? Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I think Toko's room is on this side, right?
Take the map also and make sure she's... Did she say she's in her room?
Yeah. I press the doorbell. Ding dong. And after a few seconds...
Huh? Who's there?
Ugh, the most negative aura I've ever felt. An aura of total decay.
Well, what do you want?
So you're back to normal. Genocide Jack isn't around anymore.
Don't even say her name. It makes me sick to my stomach. I was in such a good mood, too.
She didn't look like she was in a good mood. Hey, I was hoping to talk to you about something. Is now a bad time? Obviously annoyed, Toko slithered out into the hall.
What do you want? You said you wanted to talk to me about something?
I wanted to talk about the fact that Sakura had asked to meet with you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Byakuya already told me she had asked to meet with him.
What? She wanted to meet with the master too? I just said two, didn't I? Fuck! I guess now it's totally obvious, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. So, can you tell me about it?
I admit I did get the note, but I didn't go see her. I was scared, so I couldn't bring myself to go.
Toko claims she didn't go see her, but can I really believe her? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact.
Is that good enough? And I'm going back to my room.
Okay. I press the doorbell. Ding dong! And after a few seconds... what's up, Makoto? Did you need something?
Yeah, actually, I just wanted to check something. It's about how Sakura wanted to meet with you.
How'd you know about that? Ugh, did you maybe gaze into my soul? Have your special abilities awakened in you? But I'm not the only one she wanted to meet with. Sakura told me herself that she asked Byakuya and Toko to come too.
What? When did Sakura tell you that?
Oh, well, when she asked me to meet with her, of course.
But didn't she write you a note?
Yeah, no, she gave it to me in person. She happened to mention the others, like in passing.
I gotta be honest, this is super suspicious. So then you went and met with Sakura?
No way, I totally didn't. Why would I ever do that?
Yeah, definitely suspicious.
The last time I saw Sakura was when Hina got hurt and I took her to the nurse's office. I haven't seen her since then.
While I'm here, could you show me the note she gave you?
Oh, I still have it. Let's see.
Hiro was feeling around in his pockets a little too long.
Sorry. It looks like I don't have it anymore.
With a big, goofy smile on his face, he pulled his hands back out of his pockets.
But when he did, I saw something flutter to the ground. Something had fallen out of Hiro's pocket. Huh?
Quick as the wind, Hiro snatched it back up again and shoved it back into his pocket.
Sorry, just a bit of trash I forgot to throw out.
Trash? Like you?
Anyway, I can't deny that Sakura asked to meet with me, but I never went. So, well, if you'll excuse me.
Before waiting for a reply, Hiro quickly slipped back into his room. Hiro said that was just trash, but there's no way that's all there was to it.
It is. He was acting super suspicious, but I could also buy that, like, Hiro was like, yo, I'm super high right now. I used the note to roll it up as a blunt. That's why I don't remember where it is, and my anxiety is like peaking right now. So that's why he's just like fumbling like crazy. Okay, so I've heard from Toko and Hiro. What next? I'll definitely have to look at the actual crime scene again. But on top of that, maybe I should find out more about the protein. Yeah, we gotta go to the chem lab. Chem lab. Oh wait, no. Let's go L1. No. What? Okay, there we go. Oh, man. Where is it? This way.
Remember that mystery room? That secret room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God. I was like, what's happening? Oh.
Makoto, did you have your eye on the chem lab too? Just make sure you don't get in my way.
You don't get in my way.
No, you don't get in my way. I think what you meant to say was, yes, sir, I understand.
Yes, bitch, don't get in my way. Ooh, there's a spill. This isn't my first time seeing the shelf, but I just can't get over how big it is. I should probably take a closer look at it. It looks like 3 shelves have been connected together to make one giant shelf. But more important right now, what's that powder that's been spilled in front of the shelf? I have to be careful not to step in it. There's a broken bottle in front of the shelf. Is this where all the powder came from? It looks like the bottle had a label on it. Chem C4.
Would you like to hear something interesting? I was on the 4th floor this morning checking things out, and at that point, this room wasn't like this.
Then, this powder must have been spilled.
That's right. It could only have been around the time of the incidents.
If that really is when it happened, it must be related to the case somehow. Source of the powder. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor. I better not leave a footprint. Meanwhile, these are footprints? And they're only in front of the left shelf.
How do these footprints relate to the scene as a whole? We may need to sketch out the floor plan.
By we, do you mean me?
How kind of you to offer.
You never do anything.
Correct.
With an insufferable smirk, he handed me a piece of paper and pen.
Well, let's go. Chop chop. Right, Makoto's a dummy.
Okay.
Hey, you did it.
So I got to work, and before long, I drew up a sketch of the room.
That's a shit-ass drawing.
Dude, this is like worse than Steve from Blue's Clues.
Damn.
So how's this?
Not bad. For you, I mean.
For me?
So when you look at it like this, interesting. It would appear that whoever left these footprints only had business at the leftmost shelf. They came in, went straight to that shelf, did whatever they had to do, and then left. That's what the footprints tell me. These footprints must be... Makoto, are they yours?
No.
Okay. Then let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself.
I couldn't think of a reason not to, so I quietly did what Byakuya said.
I see. Your feet do appear to be too big. Giant foot-ass boy.
What are you
Unfortunately, I must admit these are not your footprints.
Unfortunately.
But with how clear these prints are, it should be quite easy to determine who they do belong to.
Then these prints are a really valuable clue. I should probably take a good hard look at that powder. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor, blah, blah, blah. There's also a rubber bottle. That's Chem C4. Some footprints, okay. Based on the positioning of the prints, whoever it was only went to the left side of the shelf. According to Byakuya, the powder would have had to have been spilled right around the time of the incident. That's all I can tell for now. Okay, footprints, okay. Let's look at A. Let's see what's on the shelf. There are all kinds of dietary supplements and different medicines. The protein drink we found in the rec room probably came from the shelf. All the containers on the shelf are labeled with the letter A and a number. So I guess I can consider it as part of the shelving unit, section A. But wait! There's one bottle here that's labeled Chem C9. Could someone have put it here by accident? Okay, classic swap. They swapped it to be like, oh yeah, this is the protein, but it's actually poison. On this shelf, one look and look at it, nothing but dangerous chemicals, poisons, other blah blah blah. Letter C and a number. Okay. Oh, and then B. Can I just talk through it? Oh.
The reagents? Put simple, they're used in experiments to bring about a chemical reaction. How have you lived in such ignorance for so long? It must truly be bliss.
I mean, you fumbled on the pronunciation of reagents, man. Isn't that kind of harsh?
You. What, you think studying science and mathematics has no practical application in the real world? The words of a lifelong loser, which I suppose suits you well. Reagent.
You just played it. I didn't even say that. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Right now I need to focus on the shelf.
And how to pronounce reagent.
All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter B and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit, section B. Yes, I can. Oh, God.
What tipped you off, the big B on the front of it?
I should try to find more about the shelving unit. Oh my god. Oh, this is repeating the information. Okay, what was a bottle of poison from section C doing in section A?
What's a pottle?
Pottle.
A pottle of poison?
Oh
Barry?
man. Mr. Pottle.
Mr. Pottle. His name should have been Harry Pottle.
Harry Pottle.
Mr. Pottle. Well, maybe on the next episode, Mr. Pottle will find some more clues in Harry Pottle and the Pottle of Boysenberry. My favorite book. Movie was okay.